Shen Komachuche Rasim Flu.
Oh, and running I have a very good week for Manchester United. Dedikai. Manchester United as on branch your friend Matthias A. Cunha.
Yeah.
Matthias Cunha a release clause. Wolves no. And the 62 million pounds. So Manchester United bet me ato sa branch na. And say Manchester United at home. Players me no Manchester United bet me at home. I generate sika. Edi akoto Matthias Cunha no. And the Bakuni Anthony and Rashford. Bona Anthony Airbo or Rebetes no. A win-win situation for Manchester United. Sir Abrante Fen Anthony Echo Rebetes no. And anka one timia ma and Nikobia no buy willing to buy.
Yeah.
And they Rebetes for Nankasa are willing say bibia for Anthony to stay. And what you know, one kasa me one pay say Atletico Madrid Fonso akwa inquiry.
Yeah.
Andy, Saudi player eco loan. There now we expect it. Say player no betimi abobo ni ye. Na say wo team na kasa na odi ni call loan kra no. Say wo mpese wo be recall na. Andy, ubenya value player no ho a obetimi aton no. Eti Bon Anthony Airbo no. Me sure say Manchester United in fact tomato boka. We say the most expensive signing. I'm saying we through on more. Abrante Fen Anthony, Harry Maguire, cost Manchester United so much money. But Anthony buy no want me more. Me not sure say how much they bought Anthony no. Manchester United bet me Attica. But Bona Albono, Andy, we are sure say Manchester United at the bare 50 million pounds. A price tag about Anthony one. Obi Mamatana. The price tag ne be 50 million. Manchester United will need to raise revenue to be able to go into the market and revamp their squad. Somebody me one of the possible ways in say in-house by selling players. That is why Rashford, Bona, Albo, Edema, Aston Villa no, it's also a win for Manchester United because from all indication, Aston Villa would like Abrante Fen Rashford to stay. Some percent Rashford at then you go to Manchester United, negotiate and make sure say at least say about 40 million, say about 30 million krona. Abrante no overturn right day. What the amount? And that is why make us this weekend and this week here. I have a very good week for 8 months. Your friend Manchester United. Now Obi bisa question say in your English team I manage Europa League now. English team said about Champions League next season. And the A6.
Yeah, 6. 5
in the automatic data. Manchester United we and our Premier League, you know, a season, you know. Now first 5 teams now on the top of Premier League table, no so no, and the automatically, you know, qualify Eco Champions League. The Obaji Europa League, you know, because 5 teams, you know, Akobo Champions League. So the advantage for the English Premier League is that we are seeing a possibility. Sir, young season, you know, net teams are every Premier League, Akobo Champions League next season, you know, and the Ekwa Bakumaku 6. What the Kaka? Amorim Mbaye, you know, in the Premier League, you know, and said I'm fire. Yesterday I said I'm fire and fire because 6 wins out of 23 matches there, and they are terrible. Namedika can say Amorim anything hard, you know. Yeah, said that every difference be at the same level now, and Manchester United womb. But Oba, no, at least Manchester United any a moment to be inspire hope say be obetime Jubano. One of them Bromini Liverpool 2-2. And they said now Obi and Liverpool one of the highlights of Manchester United season is that Omochi Man City City by 2-1. A highlight of the season. Another one, and it's the same Manchester United Echo Arsenal Emirates. Ekoi Arsenal film in the FA Cup. Game near 1-1. So back as our game no. Diego Dalot the red card.
Yeah.
And on the 1-1. And said red card required by 61st minute. And Diego Dalot the red card. Manchester United numerical disadvantage against Arsenal at Emirates at the 1-1 echo penalties. Arsenal film in the FA Cup. Mekai another highlight for Amorim a time of Omochi Real Sociedad. Ese Real Sociedad Ekanai Emma Real Sociedad Ete Kenubako in the same Europa League. So we are talking about Manchester United or a different when they are playing the Europa League, and Manchester United were different when they are playing in the league. Now the opportunity for Manchester United is that league na nema answer that anko ye alpha Manchester United no. There's a back door. So between that saving the season no. Yeah, as we speak now, there's a possibility that United will Champions League. So I did FA Cup now. It doesn't depend, it doesn't matter where they finish in the league. Manchester United are about Champions League even when they finish 15th on the league table. Now, Adiabaku says here, Mama Niajini said, over league table now. Manchester United are also 14th for the league table and they are 41 points. Atani ata teams are Mienua and likely say Ombabo Europa League final no. Two English team.
Yeah.
Because Spurs also winning 3-1. Yeah. Spurs are winning 3-1 no. On the Premier League table no, Manchester United are also 14th no. Spurs are also 16th. But we are looking at the possibility of two teams domestically no. Nema answer that alpha armor when say omunyina eco PM Europa League air final. Nandi Adia Bama Manchester and Yajini say omonya a feel of air stand mames. Because maybe a Bobo Champions League final no. A hot Manchester United call and run now or call with the air 3-0 no. Unse Bilbao home now. Your friend is Sam Mames. A hot champion Europa League final no. Yami Aduma. Yababa I think 21st May and a bit Mabasu. Manchester United 3-0 away win there. Meaning the Bessia United bet me free mu. And then I share Opta. I'm a Manchester United 97% rate chance rate say I'm qualify for the finals of the Europa League. Again, Spurs also we need 3-1 against Bodo Glimt. Some say Bodo Glimt, no way. I'm here the first Norwegian club Krana. Almost semi-finals of any major European air club competition. There is no Norway club. Say a Conference League a Champions League say Europa League almost semi-finals be that. So the team they do level no babedru and in level any and as Spurs now on a terrible season no actually Bodo Glimt actually by 3-1. I'm not sure say even though say Bodo Glimt a whole new fear no and I was through but a very highly unthinkable say Bodo Glimt a bit Spurs and so etimi afimu. What we are seeing is that there's a possibility see a benya all finals.
Oh, English final.
English final. You better clubs. Our free Englander. Able finals in the Champions League, in the Europa League, Conference League in the year. Chelsea, in Crabromusu. Chelsea are qualified already. They will play in the finals of the Conference League. Finals of the Europa League, you know. Andy, say their English club about final.
Yeah.
And then there's a slim possibility of Arsenal also playing in the finals of the Champions League.
Yeah.
Because at 1-0 down, honestly speaking, a difficulty there.
But
it's possible. They can do it.
Yeah.
So Arsenal to me, which is possible. We are going to have an English team able finals of the Champions League, an English team able finals of the Europa Cup, and then an English team able finals in the Conference League.
Just to add,
there is no precedence.
Just to add to the other so the man Arsenal there no impossible Manchester United match Libya. Just before say red card never no. Why don't they dominate play? Ajax Bilbao.
Yes.
Omunya chance inaki head be say Torneta. Omu bobo ni nyina but Sam Maguire captain Maguire. Harry Yamal. Maguire. Say who say United for some man 10 JC. Oh, you are 5 United for say 10 JC on from Harry Maguire. Quite fast also on a creative first goal no. I was raw.
Yes.
10 JC Maguire. Says Rashford ko. 10 JC na Maguire. Na Maguire no say no. Lamine Yamal. Say even so Ronaldo Nazario. Even so Ronaldinho. Even so Lamine Yamal.
The first question I be say Yamal for no say an English team which is possible say Europa League in the year an English team will win because they are you all English final and a boss are final now English team the beji say English team ni win next year Champions League no you be 16 from the English Premier League now a Champions League. Then there's Manchester United medical I think say we have seen two versions of Manchester United, the one that is playing in the league and one that is playing in the Europa League. And it's a Manchester United Europa League now. I think Omonkasa financially, very difficult for them because maybe a Manchester United finishing in the league, merit payment. Last year, Manchester United finishing 8. Sika Manchester United finishing by finishing 8, so almost finishing 15 for. And the United merit payment, almost to buy £20 million. Of finishing 8 last year, and around £36.5 million. Say of finishing 8, Sika Manchester United Lucino, bet £20 million based on a merit finisher on Betimania. Again, Manchester United any Adidas or a deal. So Manchester United aren't qualified for the Champions League. Every year, Biano, they lose £10 million from that deal. They are tossing me and say, who be here? Say United about Champions League, and they say, so why more Champions League now? And they are bait to attract a good place. Maybe I might say United they do no, and yes, it can go on. Oh yes, it can there. But every quality player would like to play in the Champions League. It is a Manchester United eco player home. Now a bit is a City ako the same player home. Now the City at the Champions League. Quite convincing player and say, we are going to give you a bigger platform Champions League now. So Manchester United Champions League now. They cannot compete in that level. So it is in their own interest, in their own level, to be able to qualify for the Champions League. And Enra away win 3-0 against Bilbao. Not many teams me akwa away. Bilbao enye such a bad team.
Yeah.
Bilbao or a Grisetta. Now Inaki Williams, any Nico Williams, I almost see a kind of same team. And for Manchester United, you have 3-0 away winning there. I don't see how Manchester United didn't qualify for the final. Their can say if they qualify for the final now, can they win it? Depending on their condition there, between Bodo Glimt and Spurs there, they need to qualify for the final first. But between Bodo Glimt and Spurs there, I think Manchester United winning the Europa League, is within their reach. They can win the Europa League. Now, Chelsea, another club, Jugat Zone Free Sweden. I'm going to show more 4-1. And the Unum said, Obi catch them is as a Chelsea, baby or bobo, as a university graduate, in a free university, on GSS4, a quiz. Oji this say Conference League in the Chelsea level
Chelsea holding a bro.
It's a Unifree University, maybe a level 200, and a GSS4 air quiz. Any A level 200 student at KNUST. So may quiz in be a bro sukra. They are where we are ahead of every team at Air Conference League. Do you know what they see? Chelsea are winning 4-1 in the Conference League. All parameters. Favor Air Chelsea, and now they are the best in all parameters. In terms of A goals scored in the Conference League, Chelsea has 33 goals, more than any team in the Conference League. In terms of average possession, Chelsea about 92.3% in the Conference League, more than any team in the Conference League. And then short at Chelsea in the Conference League, And yes, short on target 87. More than any team in the Conference League. So I'm seeing Chelsea winning the Conference League, Premier League team winning the Europa League, and possibly a slim chance of having an English team playing the finals of the Champions League. A very amazing season for English teams.
Yeah, right. Sasana, but yes, a very amazing. Felix, I'm sure I feel when you say young Manchester United as him. Now young Harry Maguire and Swasem. But when say Lady Legion, I say Maguire is your friend Lord Maguire.
The Lord.
Lord Maguire. Maguire now, Mama Harry Yamal.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Hey.
Lord Yamal. Maximum meet you.
Yeah. Mamintia Kwame Edu. So okay.
Yeah.
Your China birthday.
Oh, okay.
And I'll say, China yin around Martin the MD point. Until I buy a beer and bring on out more than I see a big up your son. I mean, trying to be brave. Now, I need to drop here. I was Staten Islands. KOSU, and also Ontario, United States, or Ontario, Canada. Yeah, he's also listening to the show. And of course, you have been Poma Bufa. Big Barcelona lady, or no, Manchester City, Abonini, so also Manchester. They all listen to that. Of course, you big up yourself. Well, before you back also, Now we'll come about the porn star na your Pamne Free Stadium one. Me story me de pa.
Me story so we will comment say me how money dey be man.
Yeah. On say porn stars naturally they love football.
Manchester United are winning game. On this case Manchester United.
Manchester. Now say listen Manchester you. Why a story?
Say United lose we.
You are not being fair to
Maguire here Juma say
why a stories? And now, Chris, I discuss me discussing. I'm never be 2-3 short.
Mate.
On say they are also human, like how many parts say yeah. So they also follow the trend of whatever is going on in the world. Adults movie. I saw money man and man
Baba. Confirm say on the member 1057 and other.
I must wouldn't know.
Oh, the picture you understand for
the picture too so no.
And you money picture na who no.
Bonnie blue.
Which you say wash.
Yeah, stars are winning musicians anywhere.
Nidia mama Nidia Kasa Tia Emma Bellinger.
Yeah. Also, share porn stars na like American they are also human beings like us. And they any anything will be almost anything. Now, you look at the game of football, which is the most widely watched and I said the most publicized sports now. They also take a lot of interest in it. But the American majority of those ladies, no women, they support the English clubs. I'm yet to find a porn star who forward to say, be or Madrid and that's all. Barca and also were Inter, and I really don't understand why. Because one, I say adults moving a year can ye be more successful. More said ye do my year, Chris, a more successful. A be more into my yes, because a member who be say Mandingo saying Diesel, join a piano Rico Strong one they are in there. But looking at the list, one trend Fatou Sumami, Mia Khalifa, a West Ham United fan only. Chris Onsen Hoffepa. Say we say be our so moving now bema ushia no kroma possibility so be number high for example Andy said or J number
utaji
2 seminar make seminar 2 Ella Brooks also oni also on the rep Manchester City shirt and Gina Johnson says but Manchester United we a friend the queen on crowd pon their friends she is the queen of pon or Manchester United. Minim so into about the bad like I can Manchester na Manchester nyade na minim. And last but not the least, Astrid White, also a Chelsea, Oni. Well, a lesson goes on and about time to mean, but I'm yet to find out more Ebiomo repe the Spanish or the Italian or other teams, Eddie. Now there is this guy, Karen Lee on the Obama. Now, also support Derby County. And see why not doing so bear whatever it is financially at the Derby County about back to where they belong. What I say. Now, on meka some say wa fire 4,000. But me minjindi. But what I say. And why insurance was ne bearman insurance quite £800,000. But just what and
Friday
and finally, Oshe Obaya ye pamnia. You quiet and say. Watch our ticket accosted or call your say. Also, the go to social media say, or person ne fans no a shooting movie. Nasem no de buy no into drew on. And no sounded to social media BM say a deal to 1,057 men a fire. Into drew on a Western for some more ticket.
Nottingham Forest.
And nothing I say for ticket in bro. The ban also way. Hey, call yeah pamo and no more escorts in the money PA. But Rebecca say okay, like I say, normal say most people don't drink. She was only there to make them. Only says she's just 25. And no, yes, I rough no. Into my pam because Nottingham for no. It be a Manchester United, me Chelsea for the anchor on Bejano. Now talking of Manchester, is here about my basso. Oh, the last one Meka said they are the only unbeaten team in the whole of Europe.
And still they are.
Yes, and me na Meka say Europa League on Bekofa. Because against Bilbao, almost a Bilbao final Bilbao Stadium.
Yeah,
and I think I remember Bilbao for arguing you almost say, a done deal because this season all their home games in the competition, I think they've won all. It's not more few say, but also England, Spain teams they are most often no. England for now they be Spain and Spain for now they be English no at the frame. And I think Manchester United do well. Also against Lyon. I think Leon or boy proud to this one. Leon. How or mutumi back ebe say no. Now there is that element of luck a common. Also the difference as you said, they can say there are two different competitions no more, but they might perform better here and perform worse here. In terms of one say leg ne there ya mutu ajiegu. And they need to put all their attention with the Europa. I think that is really what is working for them because some more boy Europa now they are different team also. And now with the 3-0 no in there, and they I think immaculate. It's a fantastic way. Now Chris will say Tottenham there safe, Bodo Glimt you best show more. And I'm looking forward to all English finals.
3-1.
So they will see there maybe and
United between Manchester United and Spurs in the final no. And maybe I'll tip United winning over Spurs.
Yeah.
But Manchester more qualified for the finals.
Okay. Trend for Tottenham and Postecoglou way no to so mami. Oba ka sembi na ndi sre ne sa da de andi story or straight way and in bacho ready mami na yenko.
Usually in my second season I win things.
Sa kwe ka sa asem we the out there no fia. Say ho na mesumi so nya de ne ade. Ba bia wadru na bia onim dia oka. Menim what I say. And also in recent times no Tottenham che Man United ye ball mo se nkwala. So West Stadium. And I won't steady.
That means steady.
Oh, yes, how much we were. So Mudru final, I think is great. But now there is news because I hear all English clubs, you know, and game for final in England, but that is not the case because one, in 2021, Chelsea City ebo Porto. In 2019, Liverpool ni Spurs ebo Madrid. And also in 2019, Baku, Azerbaijan, there Arsenal and Chelsea and a Copa finals, I think in the Europa League. And see, it doesn't change anything. But the surprisingly say, United are 14th on the league, if I'm right.
Yeah.
Tottenham are 16th.
16th.
And see, if Ataniata. And see, if any of them to make the European title, now Arsenal. A trophy less. Yeah. It's a sports. Yeah. For Chris, we are forecasting into the future. Maybe Arsenal trophy less. But next Arsenal bregu. Only me imagine. But Tottenham to make the Europa League. Next Arsenal call. Yeah, for Champions final when you mufrima. Omo. I think say Arsenal Euro and for me. They've done very, very well. And because of this, there's so many about Trema Amory. Also, Premier League in the Modi. Because our teams are more boy in the Premier League. My name is Chris Junior. Or compared to the team in the Europa League, I think the Premier League no better than Kakra. And I feel na waba. Because of the investment the Premier League near the Omo Meki. In Sabia no waba, he needs to learn one or two things. But what he's been doing in Europe, no, I think that's so near time or bet to me a push team now around. So let's back them because I think he has done incredibly well.
Okay, got it. Mirasipa na ya betwaso at media for high pure 95.7 FM. Ya bet here the fisem na answer. But Chris, I know Musa say between sa two goalkeepers we team one and Kabe today. Unana and Sanchez.
By force and Tom Mumba.
I move back when I have and I count to be a
Metu Nana.
So we can say by force and to move back.
Metu Nana.
Oh, Nana.
And Mammy and another choice. Metu Nana. Metu Nana at Inter Milan. Unana at Ayas.
Now, Sanchez so at Brighton.
Sanchez are more Champions League final.
That's true, but
Unana at the Champions League final now. Only Man City. Unana to me, my ball. The ball passing ability was incredible, and I think say at Ayas. So the Ayas was semi-finals of the Champions League. So the late enemy team on the ball Champions League semi-final. No Unana name goalkeeper. Unana came to Inter Milan and then. Or Champions League final, and there's a possibility that Onana will win the Europa League
with Manchester United.
Yes, and you know between Onana and Robert Sanchez, Onana straight away.
Yeah, for fisam no and to us na nyame atuma and Ghana ebe born the first game was the U20 African Cup of Nations Egypt. Na and Ghana body here Congo at exactly 6 p.m. Na my name is Chris who Ghana squad now coach Desmond Ofe enemy na initially squad ni be the Kaba we are looking at me hu ba ko me yam shemi na ba ko bi ba na defenders 4 me yam shemi na attackers bad yo but from F Dankas I saw Joan for the F funded by Eto Somaye. I think I know we have defenders no Da Costa entry, Aaron Isel. Aaron is our guy. Oh boy, no.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
For sure. Yeah.
Aaron Isel, Nana Kwame Boache, Maxwell, Esuho, Kelvin, Hayagle, and Fidin Dennis Mafu. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 defenders. And our squad midfielders na do super Ishmael Ado Hayford Edubuahin Abdul Hakim Suleimana Joseph Edu Michael Amer Mahama Emmanuel Mensah Andrews Ajabin Lord Efrifa and Abdulaziz from Barcelona youth side no also Clinton Diodu. Wow, Clinton Diodu a part of the squad.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's sure. Very nice.
Well, I think Cyprus, yeah.
Okay. Now on game, and Daniel Amati, some words of encouragement. Eddie Ama, Daniel, Yabani Ababe, a squad, no any other stories.
So they say, I'm only say Ghana be supporting anytime. The man who Pablo comes until you are sure say, tournament, coaching job behind. We call Bobby. When we do, I think I do call it. I think that on behalf of me, share a match. We need some start now. We start. Almost start. Okay. We start today. We not there. So let's do it. We some the plan.
Okay, Tiano Mate and no name Rantiano Kasa or there's some words of encouragement. Eddie Mo, Munyami Admene and almost a Judy and I say. Maxwell, Aaron, they say Wakasa.
Yeah,
oh boy.
Yeah, Aaron is all captain.
So far, I'm the team no 3 players now. Maybe familiar. 4 players.
4 players. Yeah.
Clinton Diodu.
Yeah.
Jerry Efriye. Yeah. Abdulaziz. Yeah. Them and then your boy Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron. Aaron, on a soccer boy, he started from St. John's School as a king. These were all the boys on the Prince Aqua as a Kwanzaa. Maxwell Barco, Kevin Ando, Justice Blay, including Aaron, almost started was St. John's School Sekendi. So Oba Academy or Pokuntio. So big up to legend on Uncle Kennedy. So I'm gonna call Norway, call Jace Agotia and the Norway Cup on the affair. He was the captain, and even in the final crown, Maxwell Atta, also another boy from St. John's, they scored the goal. And it was my Atta who was the best player, even on our crisis here. So through that, so they call Bechim. A true Pokuntimu and a wake true Modicobes. I think after Betimo ball 2 or so 1.5 season, and Dinya straight they call outside deals in the be by no the ono and I say so when your main Europa to say Eastern Europe on the Wonko. And see Chipsa came in. That is that Chipsa worked things out. Now he didn't work out until he went out and Onya the first St. Johnstone. It was Celtic on loan. So free one or move it up to United States also on loan. Say in Celtic Lake or move it to United States. And on under 20 no Bobby that. At the point crowd mo call France for that tournament, too long tournament. He was the captain. Of course, the 20 team performed poorly, but African Games na ball hano. He was also in the team. Then again, only almost I think Zito Kradi Omoko African champions also. He was still in the team. He's very young. I think Aaron is now 18, 19 with his real age now. So because no says to no real cry and so it's a good thing. But let's wait the team. Only Clinton Dodu, another fantastic player.
From Bichim.
Fantastic player. I'm very much happy to see this because he's one of those boys that I'm here say in future no. So to me a KK on eba any ano okay ano.
Yeah.
Oh, and honestly a Pokunti akola.
I think so about nations. Yeah, Emmanuel ano.
Yes, I'm expecting Iman not also and I was Aziz our goalkeeper no so be team no. Your money on here money Pokunti and kola no mode.
Oh, okay. So
looking at under 20 team no, the backbone of our success as far as football is concerned in this country. In the under 20 team is are rough no in selection of other national teams or muye bi because Obekaya in 2010 ye call World Cup no. And a Nations Cup route to the World Cup. Was the Nations Cup you call final as you say?
Yeah,
not your senior players with Brepra.
Yeah.
But because the under 20 were then champions in 2009, world champions or Egypt, you know. Yet to me pushy players ni Bishemama, they played really well. Because the key players are near I think Joe Mensah played and Asamoah Gyan and Koja Samuel also were few of the key players in the core, but those young guys, babe, it's a core World Cup. You interview after you win your first match. He thanked the coach, said the coach gave the young guys the opportunity, and he also blessed the senior players for allowing the young guys to play. And that's what I said. But around the 20, the Nigeria have dominated. In Africa, I think they've won it 6 or 7 times. But Ghana, we've won it 4 times. And in that order. But looking at the selection, I mean, we say controversy because the number of defenders are a fire.
Yeah.
Looking at the midfielders and all that.
And
sometimes, yes, very difficult to understand. But sometimes, I am a bit understandable sometimes. Because my hair at that squad, yeah. Santa Obe say be a department, be no more doors on be brave. Let's give the coach a benefit. If the defenders a form, might be the central, but if the midfielders now, they might play as a midfielder and also at the same time play as defenders.
Okay.
If the Obebo 3 back, no, you see your friend saying the 2 wing backs, to make sure that they will play in. So depending on how they are going to do. For that, let's give. And this is a coach who has also shown that given the job and you'll be able to do something like what he did and what he won. For that matter, to me, more and more the benefit of the doubt. I hope you understand the point. Either than one say defenders those in attack, but as those in the midfield, no, a lot of wing backs. Of course, it's been written on the paper that they are midfielder, but when they are playing the game, they can be used as wing. But we also to me defense very well. Okay. So I'm looking forward to a very good performance because Zito himself also the Eco Africa, and we won. And if I'm right, they are a free year, a former Hearts of Folk boy or Kowe, or a Kojibai, and any dan lad money. So I think the 20-year area, and don't forget, we are the only African nation to win the World Cup at under 20 level. Based in Africa, beyond here. It's America says if there is going to be an African nation to win the World Cup, certainly it has to be Ghana. And Andy, I'll give the coach the benefit of the doubt. But of course, Ohe selection there, Banedia. And the baby if in the one be free. Me say, at the end of selection baby, I said Dreams FC players 2 and 3 every national team youth level. So does it mean say Dreams FC or my youth system no or more nyoma be why you say better than all the other and that's all my youth players in the Nimbana. I don't get it. I'm not saying say a Dreams FC player yeah dear man memo. Say Dreams FC player woman or bekwa kojika mini problem. But consistently no they be a youth teams now. But what I say Dreams FC players and Musa. The question is why? Is it that they are better? And now to avoid all these things, Nandi, can you say a youth league? That is what we do all over the world. In countries or league AB, we play youth league. In Tabianka Kotoko youth team way, almost so ball league. It's when Kotoko are playing at home, they might be playing curtain raiser. The team must be forced to do that. So I'm only waiting a while away on the ball. In the season, once also up ball league. Sometimes you bring a promotion to youth league 1, youth league 2, you get demotion. And that is where we pick our youth players need the free.
So Manchester United youth team AJ Premier Arsenal Premier under 16 Premier League.
No, to say Barca so AJ
youth championship.
And that's where we pick maybe I'll come Madrid youth team now picking out the Omoba. Maybe a few ones no more young no more top because you see a bit say Lamine Yamal Spain under 20 no money more. Because boy a huge advocate playing there is no need. On concentrate at the top. Into Monso a year Barca. Into youth league night, see a game near strong there. We need to play the youth league. And no say yin in I heard you. Yin in I who be and he selected player and crown him. So indeed, this player he'll be able to play. But who say we must send selecting not division. We'll be call about 35. No, a come to also 18 to know a cobona and koye. Until we need to work on that. Other than that, let's wish them well and see how it's going to go. I think Enra Morocco winning. I think almost Kenya. Diamond 3-2. And Nigeria also won their game against Tunisia by a goal to nil. So I think under 20 in the major mudi. But in recent times, our performance now the fact that they've been able to win the All African game, I think they should go all out and make us proud. Andy.
Okay. So Christian.
Well, I'm saying there's a little to choose between under 20 and even the main national team. Because most of the main national teams now, players are below 20 years play for the main national teams of major countries. And we use system near very weaker. Your football fundamentally is weak. Youth in Spain eco international break we prep Inigo Martinez plan na oko transfer no one of friend no Hoisin or a 19-year-old boy we see a kind of Bournemouth 19 years old Spain eco international break and a branch friend no Inigo Martinez and injury and a free moi one to me uncle player a friend now over replacing Inigo Martinez no a 19-year-old boy we see a kind of Bournemouth Oba is what I'm trying to you. Spain friend man by straight into the national team he played.
Sao mu call up number sa di Hoysen Becker on that time no sa wo Kubasi so and this boy from Madrid
Raul Asensio
no so count.
So look at their center backs and Kwadan Pa Kubasi Lamine Yamal all these are young players once you have the talent their card is a coach remember the confidence to play and you are good to go. Anything you say wouldn't need one player and the way 18 years 17 years 20 years what did you know say obet me about national team now and then your future is very bleak very bleak me sure say Ghana player we have 19 years I bet me aton sa no and that 19-year-old boy will walk straight into the national team like the Hoysen no me name one says Spain for power to Safre. Now go ahead Hansen or Bournemouth. He justified the reason here as a friend. Maswadi Kaka, the bridge between any national team, any youth football, no, under 20. So under 20 a very strong one. Automatically your main national team becomes stronger. Adia ahaye. Let's go back to a history. Tama you under 20 years strong biano. It feeds into the main national team. The last time you quite Argentina go final and Argentina share by 3-1 no. Sad national sad 24 no. On one the 2006 Air World Cup squad na you call Air World Cup no. The next time you a stronger under 20 no. 2009 the Aegeo Egypt no. Sad 2009 squad na Ewuremu Echo AFCON 2010 and then the World Cup Air 2010. That has been our best competition so far. Sad 2010 AFCON na Egypt actually 1-0 in the first half no. When you compare any other AFCON be akona, sa AFCON in recent years was our best AFCON. The 20 even though 2015 you called the another final any Ivory Coast call final and Ivory Coast any penalties a year free but also circumstances are you this team no call final na me I will choose that team over 2015 team no and then the World Cup the same under 24 now you had to call a World Cup no the same under 24 now a feed into the national team and me a call AFCON no and a sabo me a ball 2010 World Cup no and till date that is our best World Cup performance since they started say air World Cup no. My main belief coach na o coach national team no Andy coach bia minim he has so much Ghana for so much confidence in him or enjoy a lot of goodwill. Ni nyina so be depend on say oya ade ba ko na ye ni yie na later ba ko kojirigu a ye nkai de oya the first no and it no to suspend and say obetimi a sustain esa level of good na Ghana for wo no mu na sa da 20 no a very good case ye nya hwe free no hodom maso any dreams FC4 a situation no me I don't really one shot na ye best sideline a players we see Akama Dreams FC just because they play for Dreams FC just because they play for Dreams FC doesn't mean that they don't deserve a national team call-up. The moment you begin to criticize them is when we see that they do not deserve that qualification. That one we can then criticize. Say and the year of ne omu Filimon Bafui bad tinchen near say friend no that was a call-up na justified. But yeah, the sound so one share baby see account with Dreams FC coach be clear friend na coach in Besuru because of the mindset they say he is calling the player just because we see Academy Dreams FC. Let's not use Dreams FC to cut SR players now. Omniservo national team call up. The only way a bit me I justify why they don't deserve a call up and they say when they come and they mess up, then we can then criticize them.
Ma nyame aduma kwakore house so on Sunday.
Andy Sama never basu. Anyanya question na referees no make akwedi.
Ticket.
First is to admit that not referees, match officials, because match officials goes beyond just referees, etc., etc. We do owe them some allowances. But what is true is that we've been very honest to our match officials. The match officials are direct employees of the FA. They don't belong to concerned. I don't know them, to be honest. I can tell you is that our match officials are aligned with the vision of the FA. They know what effort we are putting in to make sure that we clear outstanding. Sunday, this weekend, all our match officials will be at the gate. I will not react to George Seja. I will not. What I will say is that we owe our match officials. We are in sync with our match officials. The outstanding allowances. We go by now. Yes, we are in this situation because of the indebtedness of Star Times to the FA. They owe us close to $950,000. I'm fully aware of this. I want to speak with people who are very positive, who want the growth of this sport. The ESCO want the growth of revenue. Enough commitment towards the development of revenue in Ghana. And we will stay in that pathway without unnecessarily being antagonistic to any group or anybody. Like I said, I will not respond to George Seja.
The FA president say ojitum so omo de omoka but then omo ebetuaka no na games ne so de because referees no boycott games no ya ampofo ankra National Sports Authority Director General and also Accra on how ready Accra Sports Stadium is for the game on Sunday.
You know, we had plans to make sure we get the popular stand, which was not in use for the Chad game. But that's a long-term plan, and we also had interruption with the Ghana Premier League matches being played. So once again, those stands will not be occupied. But apart from that, it should be a great atmosphere. It should be well attended, minus, you know, the 7,000 up and 7,000 down seats. We're going to have a really good atmosphere. And we paid a visit to the IGP, and hopefully he would honor the invitation to attend the match between Hearts and Kotoko. So we're looking forward to it. Notwithstanding, security will be at its highest with the military, you know, with the police and all these security agencies who are responsible for a Category A match. And we'll use that as a test case and also as, you know, a recce for the big games coming up later in the year for the World Cup, where the Black Stars will feature, so that we can implement the plans that we've put in place.
I know I am performing currently watching stadium hono venue as a side that maybe on Casa Black Stars match. Problem won't be obi antra afi ebe wie na nkofo to no also this time obi antra na Kwame Parado ekasa de ma heart folk wachire max audientia gate fees no I want to tune
get 15,000 the section I was scoreboard side or that contains 15,000 people. It has been closed, so it means that you have to deal with only 25. And then we also believe so much that look, this is also another way that Sebi enyo bia de benyesika kesi akase I want to support House of Folk, I want to contribute to House of Folk in TB Abeji $1,000 or $2,000 or 5,000 cedis and all of that. The 50 cedis you pay, the 100 cedis you pay, the 200 cedis you pay, the 300 cedis you pay. And also a contribution as well. You get it. Yedi kain ediaba from Monday. Senebea, who say 50 cedis and I'll pay so tia. By the time a do Sunday, Matu Susu.
The operator shows on the game and Casa said Mirika ball National Sports Authority Director voice no so be close section ni bi ti se be close na na say has fa kwan bi so a omo be make sure say sa sika na ho no entimi ma no betimi anya sa sika no so de ahyebu ho ti na omo de ba ntem kura say de be Monday no omo de ba ti enu Sunday ni de na so what susu na 50 Ghana na betua no atimi atua na o say opesa ayesa game no aye turn around e de ma hard to folk against Koroko
a number of matches na say victory we mu ba ko I'm sure say has in this is not typical of the team. There have to be a turnaround, and a turnaround means that the next game out of there has to be a positive response. So it means that yes, it is painful though, so we have not been able to pick some points along the line. But no matter how painful it is, it is a serve as extra motivation and as a guidance. So we are going into the next game. We'll correct it and then make sure that it works perfectly for us in subsequent games.
And Heartful Casamafo Kwame Opareado. Asante Koroko head coach with the Anuye now about so Karim Zito as Obaye is say ne boys no Obie ni abre fight so betting adapt it to the style of play.
When we talk about football and adaptation, it's not an easy thing for even the European players. So I think here the talking should be more than the main issue. But I combine the two on the front and then meeting them 1v1 and then telling them how I would like them to play. But you know, as I said from the beginning, adaptation, intelligence, recovery are all not the same. So it will take time, but I say that they are fighting to adopt how I want them to play. So they are on course. When I approached them for the first time, I told them that it is not over until it's over, even though some have loved to win in competitions.
I know I coach a friend say Karim Zito. I don't know. Na Max Onik Champion can tell Masana Maba BYT so na yenwe.
Hasen Kodoko Mekache referees or Mumbai Koti.
Adea.
Say no, and they the climax for the season. Also Ghana League now. It's a league there. Bobia 2 teams this year and the climax this season no. Irrespective of even baby cry league nedru. And it's almost for musica dia. We in match is all mu use no mu de jo musica. Bandi say ombekwa kodin so a eno so main stop here omo say memo monko. Na emo momo monko din we no monko di no rough. And the yes we ni omo ntwe. What am I saying? Memo monko di no mbeka say no muntwe ka o master because game na nka yesi ye promo no. Yes, still week no muntwa ka nti hu zo omokro mama game kwanko for crave dwane every game no because issues are out in na anya issue papa. Referees in ka na every president so akoso on the pipeline see our can ye be di entua on dia meche on as nka game we ni e kata we mu players we coach yaba we road ready nti game na nka sakra no inse say the climax no how a game we be ko and be say the standard of league cry because one attendance because the kind of play on be exhibit any the be so ho and the end be say Ghana league ne level e wo also na yampofan kra kasa ombe close the other stand or man close kura omo ditum kura nyama utie da me don omo bie tu omo bia to kura stadium na ntumi mfele nti the only thing is ombe close baby a Black Stars there be fele abro so a anhwe ho be bruce nti say papa aka dey say mo bi call nti so pare be ka say mbi say ubetua 50 cities e also o more also the boa team no which is good say obia okopa coach your team ni yeska but I should also let him know that he should tell Nimpeni was or mama team ni attractive and now Paris say unya obi obe contribute $5,000 ama house of folk
$1,000
$1,000 ama house of folk so Operado has been a house of folk supporter for so long. Into once we bisa no ho die ntia o ka se ne unye obi o de 1,000 bema because 1,000 on the house of come be misuse can obi anu o de beba and in some time past there were people who can even donate close to $20,000 for house of Ghana meboa Europa my house and start a league na first round omo lose match omo say be emphasis omo bo be 15 matches omo win e bia 10 and 12 omo draw 3 na ha say bobo bi ehu ha sa kwa Africa on ali akobo draw no aba office and go phone tieska nka the whole season crasika ombe yusu for has omodebebo has ho bra supporters go betumi afa to half of or more than that's only has first na aso folk no so omo ko ba bia akobo so omo ba secondi omba kumase omo ko be se tamala chapters na wo ho no ene fa ho kan nyina invite team no hotel bibia into management nyehwe omo di anso mbeka se team na ba na team we e bia Santa Regina esimo na so duro kura ba bi omo ade omo sika be fa tu ama team no ombe enya has na dombote o kan rebi se dombote so try we part so topa ena omo huri wall no eko supporters obeka we omo huri wall no kofa omo player. This was the team, that was the spirit of Haas and Ekotoko. Babu what be good team no. Since our coach you that has coach ball or boy. When and for $1,000 the query. Ball here has for boy. Now what could $1,000. Into the me catch Mr. Yantechi Gamishan that's where vice chairman say Saska no de ma has me ngadwen. Engis ka no de ma mo na ha me. Ba say who discover my team na who benefit who no say who yeska who the ensen ka odi amom no omoso ya nyoma ye na team ne mfa no tuma pefra ba sa de years ne ema eni ma catch say be better senga sa aska no the send me na get the akoma prisoners ne nkola na ewisia for ne the school nkola bi o ya de ne ye de acheche o mo ne nyame besira no anandi asema make ka one me ngadwene be bia wo du sika kwose amfa so bia amfiri mu ma no wo ya nyame nsira wo nsira bia nim and as my maker insira nim isa obetumi atenala ko ba bia obetumi anya insira esenya me osi ye hwe awisia meboa ne hwe omo a ekunafo ene omo prison ba chawa tia sia ene obi e vulnerable ene ho na insira wo but omo na bobra hwe awoi mu omo bobra that's for anya omo sika omo dey motivate team still ball na mo bokwa na ekonachi pani bi so okohwe ball se ball na okohwe no he was shocked dia na say no omo bobos omo di agro. Inti clearly opari some way team ni ya Ghana teams ya supporters no mu we omo they still love their team but there is a house no kokoye support to them because the he na min kase njo say me pona me kofia almost every senior man as a young guy be oye like enlighten ni ade oni ombeka say bia oni house okotoko ana onim say only 10 din koma e bia ba ko pe na obeka say oh on the Ghana board here bandi wo ye den obeka so has anaso okotoko on hwe bi kra ball baby say has no kotoko ball ni season and so the question is this aden yen to me attract this angle for ye good teams no so they are oba be heading into any team there but say me team na me support na say monya nyoma ye dia and say me sumet na sa na ade na koye into omonye team ni ye no nya sa ansem na okay ka no and na den no. Now with that said match in the said a bad day because our coaches me no more well experienced and then I make and run say coach Watara wa coach Kotokoda and a Kozito so coach Kotokoni has wasa coach and a Watara san wa hearts it's going to be a very wonderful game and I'm feeling hearts of folk will feel like so monje league no crane is almost so sign we are good Kotoko for guy. Okay. And Kotoko so in recent times, sa no mo se has. It's only no mo se has the end of Watara mi ame kwa pam no. Because my cousin made the way we won. Wa won se Kotoko. Also I won the league into we then. Okay. Because house we coach either so be the league na so be se Kotoko. Now wa Kotoko chu de bi no so. Also I won sign the league into the question is that we and ekoni enko fa boadu mra baake. Me must basama make canon into opompo match we coach Watara on me Sekotoko so went to me and Sekotoko found your man across the border na ko ukrum nyame ad much na ye be rua game na nka semuna ya twetwe ho but we dey do ho kakra say Christian ye do ho kakra
see aboa no so a dey na man so ne ngoma we a big club big players and I say book club no and I hope I mean local blasters. Near how many of them will come from Kotoko and House of Fuku? See a chant team, be white in the Wahai. See a cast a proper chant team. First partner, 20-30 years ago, and I cannot chant on more. Kia chant team one should bear 90% from Kotoko and House of Fuku. And now feed into the reduction of Kotoko House of Folk match and value. Now we are talking about 50 Ghana cedis in 2025. People are not willing to pay this. Now Sylvester no time no. And what did you say? Some no 50 Ghana cedis and no amount for about finding a way of buying a ticket. This is going to be a black market. DNSC. And they catch me, Kotoko has to folk. And then the band ties will be say, or costed them or wine. Why no cohen? A dinner, Nikotoko has to folk match now, and a crack match in Mukake. But in terms of attraction, some may quack where as soon as you know maintained here. Hannah speaking, I cannot find one. Nancha cry at least now Fabio Gamma. Enche kwa nakotoko ne asofo no near the Fabio Gama na neton radio vocal de ne oyede omoton enche kwa yo be the best players in this country do not play for Asante Kotoko ne asofo under normal circumstances, Edenema Ali big. When you are a big player in Egypt, ahead the year you have to play for Ali.
Ali Epamu coach Marcel Colano. Omusomukofa Marco Rose. Former Leipzig coach.
Coach, you know, in a situation of best players in the league, you know. Once you are big, you are a big player, no. Obe rising now you play for Ali. It is a Egypt for a national team call up. Over here, 5-6 players if we Ali. And Ali 4 players there by national team, you know. As just national team players who they will come and start. Benei, one of our best players is Razak Simpson. I don't know what circumstances he should be playing for Kotoko and Fukumbaku.
Nations
for but to be able to build our 2 clubs, you know, the best players in this country are supposed to play for them. Benei, Kotoko has folk, you know, cannot even compete with Dreams MC for a player. Ekamubi and the Nay say also Kotoko has folk. Our Crash Sport Stadium. Oh, G50 Ghana cedis are. Omo complaining crano. Has folk for the complaining. You be no complaining. Or man complaining. Pato must have said that as well Fonso. Because Pato must have value for his money. Exactly. But 50 Ghana cedis 50 crowd Ghana ni aso de maswa 50 crowd. Pato obika say maneno momo se sia betu say.
No problem. Boys, guess
but you have descended to the level say 50 Ghana cedis. No, people are complaining. The danger is that it will get to a point. One share I say reduce about 30 Ghana crano. I say to take it this side. Baby, I do know. Has for blaster game crano. This is take it. Has for game. Me say a bedu stage bedo. I just say yes, I didn't know. As a cafu kruma chose, Munto take it to me and family and check. Even that crowd, some Bukabeka was a lorry friend count because of my has to folk Nikotoko and then I'm ready Randiabi, I think say joy and I love it from the Randiabi. You saw there's no point hiding it. Why has to folk ni Randy has to folk ni why management member pay. Randy say would him say Kotokone has to folk ni baso this weekend.
Oh, be on the Black Stars for with management committee.
National team. Esco member.
Me say, oh, they don't organize.
And the mommy funny.
Oh, Casa they say, as more kind.
No. Me the end that way. The mommy from BYT.
Esco member did Esco member on
the game. That is the super class. To be honest, I knew there was a house Kotoko game, but I didn't know it was this Sunday. And honestly, follow GFE.
It's not about following,
but it's part of GFE.
They be in the encourage.
There be Casa de Amenion Yagane. We are part of GFE. We are management. We are manage. It's like a football now. Kind of management member. More running the day-to-day activities of the football like Ghana. Now, because your main competition the biggest, the topmost competition in Ghana. When you are aware of fixtures here, no, there be Okasa there. As an ESCO member now,
directly or indirectly, no, he is not the one in charge of running the league. The fact that he's not running the league, you're more, especially you're more running the league, like you know better.
Yes.
Okay. He has a lot of things to do. So again, say Okobo has no day to 20 Bisana no I can say. It won't change anything. Say the Wakano will not change anything. Libona Mobona and Esanebe. So no who say Nenny Beba. And no change.
Not just a Heart of Lion Square week games are a domain.
It doesn't matter. Heart of Lion, the Abonyon manage team, but you Ubet may be a company. To say, you run it, Dr. Quack, and Bachawaza. Dr. Quack saying it's preview to every single information and as idea be across for all his companies. Our companies grad doesn't join to me. Ain't no say you are more dano. It is all Becas and Bachautia. I had the odim so tea, but not green news says our time where there's nothing wrong with that. A Ghana and the ever found so who executive committee, but legally on the run it. And in Bajo, so what Masona make an assay. In on the run it, your more run a leg. Onisa has ne kotoko bebo. Into the first obi wo efe no say one fa has ne kotoko date and to the team say it's a date where it doesn't mean that he's not on top of his job. There are a lot of things they are doing. For all you know, President Nokro nim.
But na Friday. Asem no kan da be.
I think Oko multimedia and Ra.
Say Thursday mo. Even Enra kra no ma appoint referee. Referee no kra ba Wednesday anwumre. Enti fixtures no you release no even Tuesday. Also win that be o say dia. And football na gu ampa. No kasa on
na Ghana football egu ene.
That be o egu sa de e ka no. But say me nam nyina since Sunday. Kotokoni ha kotokoni aduana bowie nya obia nim say nyame adoma next match
directly
unim where many BIT adwen say na e bia ye kotoko any bia dreams e has ni bia
United
villa ebon was so nya aware fine but for kotoko and how to for game na anesco member say on Monday onim say match na eba so but onim say this weekend how
and metro say mbachoti
omom kase na djuma dosu ntino ebia esco member no kwale because he's too much occupied.
Yes,
Coco board yes esco member
Black Stars
management committee member SMO club
Christian
divided attention.
Chris obey to me assign me Juma 3 me ye to perfection. It doesn't matter. Obemo be one on to me to perfection.
Kotokoni has to
esco member of course
esco member dem say
what has for 50 cities go so
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Esco member there you are supposed to know say Kotokoni
I also don't take it.
Maxwell asama Messi say Kotokoni vision na ebo no so onya aware of that. You can pardon him for that too.
Yeah.
But the only category A match in Ghana, Kotoko and how to fight.
It is a way ESCO member Bachowitia. A set Chinchina Koroni has date on Bebo.
You should know.
A doubt.
I listen to you. Question we Omo Musano last 3 weeks ago. Remember Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 days before the game, and we ask you this, and you say you do not know. Say this weekend. And your radio now where radio so have come out. No, David
Liverpool, Manchester United. Now you were executive council member of the English FA. Say 3 days before the game, no so on your way. El Clasico, Barcelona, Real Madrid. 3 days before the game. Now an ESCO member of the Spanish Football Federation is aware of that game there.
Oh, the in our country, it was in our nation here. We are not honest, no. Say okoye honest, you be verified. In can you so me aware so no nya aware can you okay Debbie asem ne say
obianka so onyawe onka so ya we but onyawe
him not being him not aware or him being aware and change he so you aware what changes will it bring.
No, but he should be aware.
Maybe changes or not play their role. But same but we say Randy in the role or play a game
the best thing
omo manage leg in ho
maybe.
He's an ESCO member. Flagship. Men a product. Ghana Premier League. And Black Stars. An ESCO member. An executive council member. And Black Stars. Then the ultimate responsibility. It is the league.
Yes. And I metro say like Lions. Yeah, okay. Lions no club owner, but you on manage club no. Debbie. And you don't manage say day-to-day activity.
Maxwell, that is very fine. That is very fine because Fiorentino Perez I won't call for me you Madrid Real Madrid. Yeah. But I see that Fiorentino Perez like I say Madrid
directly Perez the direct on the managing club.
Also the anything. Heart of Lions manager.
Oh, he manages the league. He manages the league.
Master of Lions tie. Maxwell.
Lions cross and America. He manages the league. And I want him to manage the league, you know. As an ESCO member, what does he do?
Executive committee, they take decisions.
Good. On what?
For a ball. But more yell or more running leg, you know, directly. He doesn't run the league directly. Oh, yeah, we are sitting. It is said, Mebacho, see, I make us and Patroti, or the engine to class Randy Anya. They said Randy, I say, has Nicoto back, not game night.
Don't go there. Don't go. A young co. Say, young co. Meba, Maxo, oh, change the Asama Caro Dano. Say, Oya, where a bit change the engine, and you're on the echo. But he is supposed to be out because he is a manager of the league. Sundays,
yeah, sports presenters. Santo, we bet me for that match. Sally, Champions League win a course that baby crown now we are free. No, hey, make my dream so me bano arama.
3 days before the game.
And yet 3 days. Oh, does that make sense? Say you are not working, Anna?
Maxwell, 3 days before. 3 days before Inter Barcelona. Also rate me match.
No, what kind of question you have? I refer any pound.
W, it's in the Sano Crana. Any actually say, just what kind of Obianca so much true. Meba Maxo, Obianca so much true. What kind of cry? Yes, why honest. But yeah, catch and say, any question in Refi. I don't know, some man Refi. Then I see a man in Rekofi. Set 3 days. Yeah, we sent a question last week, just this Thursday.
Andy.
Maxo.
Andy, so are we any coming? But also, I did about plan say, oh, the idea best. So weird to me. I will friend Canny Pound. And he was honest to say that, oh, or no crone himself match or hold up the very date in the enmity. Almost let my Dawson. And non say, oh, there's I refer when you pound out. What's wrong with that? I refer when you pound. Football, no so crama.
Follow body. I refer on the person. But in this world, I part no me serious. An ESCO member of the league see the topmost game in the league.
And all the ESCO member or more league nine so me. So you need to go to the house support the Bob because I'm not holding brief for anybody, but I say football. Now so what does this got to do? Oh, no, Debbie Nand or Yahweh football nurses and I know Yahweh. Much me a commentary come on the darling Paul, no me feel commentary na mo yening in our being to me in frail program because I never call Boboana. Who will be that?
Oh, no, yeah, won't be a one change. What's some I can be different.
Polytank say Papa Nakasa no Polytank no. Makacho say in terms of Craig because Yabrani has but Mamma Krama. What's the appetite?
Nyami Adoma Kotokone has ewo Accra Sports Stadium. Now the woman say nano Sakotoko say Diana Meboa. Since football shots here Ghana Diana Stars join Ghana League no. And prayer Dodo Diana Stars SCS and Kotokwa share Diana and the next game against House of Folk no. Se Kotokwa has in share Kotoko in the league game da. 2010-11 Kotoko share Diana trainer. That was goals from Frank Boateng, Daniel Niaje, Stephen Odro. The next league game, it was played 20th March. Ewan crying. Now, Kotoko share Diana 13th March. Week later, Kotoko has 2-0 Ewan Accra Sports Stadium. Ahmed Toure Niaje. 2013-14 season, day one. Now has will be quiet. When I'm a commentary 2013. And now Kotoko Sune a year. Diana Stars near Bano Kotoko from Kumasi. Edano Kotoko Esha Diana 2-1 Jordan Opokune Sedu Bansi. Daniel Dakwana Koshe first go. Ena Kotoko 2-1. The next league game was Accra Sedu Bansi scored the only goal. Ena Nano Ada Okaya Kotoko Koshe Diana Stars 2-0 Eodoma. The next league match in Kumasi it was Abetamwa Pine. A mistake from Kevin Osesibi. So Nyamipa, the fourth time Kotoko near Diana Abwa Kotoko Asana the next league game against House of Folk. House in Kotoko Sia de 30 Bakope. Saturday 30 so Baso Accra Sports Stadium. House Esha Kotoko 2-0. Ishmaelado Yimanola Sekufo. Since then, almost year day 30 BM. But the 30 matches are since 1999. Kotoko has Asia Ashanti region team no. And now their team be from Ashanti region has in a league match that. So I know so called Yama has of folk. Since 2001, May Bianua Kotoko. I lose to Haas in the league game that. After Haas beating Kotoko 2-1. Our May 9th, 2001. And that's a 9th May 2001. Our class boss said, almost here 5 league matches. Our May has a year to beat Kotoko. After say, almost here Kotoko May 9, 2001. So, and Yamipa, sa match and so, Yadi Babe Urum. And Andy Casras, one international independence square. The last 6 league matches, wow, what Chiba offers will lose so much. So, a empire say, we captain. Now we tell me a Kotoko for Yankoy. Nyame aduma enumro ombetu se nyame pa wo ye captain house of folk who tie me house supporter who tie me a tie man into team no say wo oba win toss no for Independence Square first half oda wa the last 6 matches unko defeat unye defeated. The last time obi defeated was 2nd August 2015 Dauda Mohammed ko share 2 goals ma Inusa Musa ete kaba ko dano so Rubinyani ese penalty Emma a 2-1 for Kotoko. And referee now already match no. A referee Aduntari. Yawono a year 12 October 1990. 34 years. Where in the second time I would Kotoko House match. The first one was a year 5th March 2023. Okay, Nana Kufuadu. Eddie a year President Cup. I can league now ever born say. Or the cup was so. Satam Guinea Bissau President Sissoko was present. So also have a gracie that occasion, you know. Edano na Kotoko, Etimi, Ekwankrai, Emma, a year, Konadu Yadom, Eshe, the only goal, 57th minute, it was free kick. Linda and Tango boy, and no painbono, and a born a twat and beating Dalad Ibrahim. Emma has Eshe Kotoko. Referee now holding what he has match is 7. What he Kotoko match is 6. Has Elusu Bakope. Kotoko Lusu Bakope. The only defeat Kotoko Lusu, our referee, your first say Adintari from Bogatanga, our friend teacher, our Boga Setek, and then say, has Kotoko Macha, Odie, and Kotoko so after say Kotoko Lusu to Arsenal. House of folks so much as our referee Nadino, Walusu Bakope, and also now day 30. It was against Team Anidi at the 11 wonders, nay day 30. And I could do a and crush first go. And a year Mohammed Tatanoti take Sumala Moro at the second go count. So we Alusubako, we Alusubako, our reference Sano. The house Luciano, a day 30. The Kotoko Luciano was against us, Ewan Kaya, the same referee as Okakodi. Bandi, Yancha, me sorry on. Badia Bakwa, Midi Romney say. We Senka, Maso Betty me pa. On player we Justice Blay. One Sunti Menu. One Peter Amidu Aqua. Baba Yaya. Omomo Kotoko house match my house in Sheda. On our players we. Baba Yaya. Justice Blay.
Okay.
Andrew Sunti Menu. Ena Peter Amidu Aqua. Since Omo joine Kotoko. House in Sheda Kotoko da. Ena Oko house swa. Hamza Isa. Kevin Osesibe. Martin Kakari. Since almost sign my house in share Kotokoda. Uti. Kotoko 4 players be Justice Blake crowd there. Okay, 2020. Time I nim kudo ekwanya late panatino or say go create your house or be ball no sakwa mediama. Or saba no enya dia house etimi asa Kotoko da. Ena house so 3 players be almost sign my house of folk almost timi share Kotokoda. So house be avoid Hamza Isa. Martin Kakari. Kevin Osesibe. And I say, on the future, my say, Sadiano, Biana, Apai, Yamepa, Eda, Ayakosiada. So, yeah, say, Yami Aduma, Bibi, Womubiano, Yasad Babanemum, Fasho Trimu say, has Kotoko, has a say Kotoko, Makumako 38, Kotoko 40. So, difference, no. Okay. So, Ebano, head to head now, House of Folk, Trelli, Kotoko, LED has 2, 40 for Kotoko. 38 for House of Folk, 38 drum games, and TMSC, and so on. Yamepa, or Mudium. But our class sports stadium Munquano, 106 matches, our match be on Mabono. Kotoko has 37, Hearts has 33. And at 36 I draw. Hearts has 112 goals as against Kotoko 110 goals. Name wins in the Kotoko. LED has 4. Ewan kind 37, 33. Ewa Crash Sports Stadium. And at 36 I draw.
But I say, right.